Okay, 6 o'clock, so we're gonna start with the planning meeting. If you guys please stand for the flag pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Okay, and then just a reminder, anybody that did not sign in yet, please do so now outside if you sign your name to the attendance sheet. We only have one item for the planning commission, but we do have a full night tonight, so we'll try and get through these things as best we can. But this is the planning commission meeting. This is the meeting in the Morrison County Planning Commission. The commission is made up of citizens from the 5 commissioner districts of the county and 1 county commissioner. The purpose of this commission is to oversee the preparation of the Morrison County land use controls, hear and review applications, and offer recommendations for conditional use permits, interim use permits, subdivision plat approval, planned unit developments, rezones, and other matters to be considered by it under the Morrison County Land Use Control Ordinance. Our powers are established in state statutes, chapters 394.21 to 394.37. Conditional uses and interim uses are recommended for approval upon a showing by an applicant that standards and criteria stated in the ordinance will be satisfied. All questions must be answered in the affirmative in order for the Planning Commission to recommend approval for a conditional use or an interim use permit unless conditions can be attached that bring the proposed use into compliance and mitigate the negative finding of facts. Conditions and restrictions may be imposed by the Planning Commission as deemed necessary to protect the public interest. After your public hearing is complete, you may leave if you wish. Okay, first tonight, the Planning Commission, we have Timothy and Pamela Stout and Jocelyn Husum, thank you. So if you guys would come up front, please, sit by a mic, and then when you get there, if you could state your name for the record, please. And you can bend the mic down so we can hear you.
Jocelyn Husum. Pam Stout.
Timothy Stout.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so at this time, we're gonna ask for staff report. Amy, you ready with that?
You bet, Mr. Chair. This is an application for an after-the-fact interim use permit for a limited rural business. This is located in Section 32 of Richardson Township. The ordinance reference for this request is Section 604.8, and that requires an interim use permit for limited rural businesses. Here's a plat map of Richardson Township, and the red dot is the location of the parcel. And then here is the permit request received from the applicant. And then here's a site drawing also provided by the applicant. And here's an aerial photograph of the parcel outlined in blue. And then here's some oblique imagery of the property. The applicant lives on this 43.89 acre property. The property is dually zoned agriculture and shoreland due to a stream running through the property. The home and 3 outbuildings, including a barn, are located in the agriculture zone. The Land Services Office received a complaint that a business is being run out of the barn. Upon staff research, a business website and Facebook page were found confirming the business use on the property. A first notice of violation was sent to the property owner on May 19th, 2022. The applicant attended the June 13th Development Review Team meeting to discuss the pursuit of an after-the-fact interim use permit to continue the business. The applicant's daughter and son-in-law, Jocelyn and Ben Husum, operate Barntiques, which is a home decor business, out of the barn on the property. Several crafters bring their merchandise to the barn for display and sale at the location. No production of items occurs on the site, and the applicant has stated they have operated there for 9 years. The applicant is requesting an after-the-fact interim use permit to continue the limited rural business that has been established on the property. The property is located on Minnesota Highway 27. The shop is open one weekend per month, May through November. Parking is accommodated on site. At peak times, about 30 cars are on site, with more at the annual holiday event that is held in November. No food is served and no employees work at the business. A porta pot is on site for customers. The shop is operated on the main floor of the barn, and there are no plans to expand into the other buildings on the property. Surrounding property is zoned agriculture, shoreland, and commercial, and is made up of forested land, small businesses, and rural residences. Then here's an aerial photograph with the zoning layer. Everything in red has a commercial zoning district, green shoreland, and then no color is ag. The permit standards and considerations within the land use control ordinance for limited rural businesses are listed here, and they were also in your packet. And then the applicable comprehensive plan goals and objectives in agriculture is Goal A1, Objective 6, Goal A2, Objective 1. And then local economic development, Goal C1, Objective 1, Objective 8, Goal C2, Objectives 1, 2, and 7, and also 19. 39 notices were sent, and this afternoon I did receive a comment, so I'll read that. This is from Denise Gruber. As a neighbor, I am writing in strong support of the permit to continue the selling of crafts located in Richardson Township. This small business is an asset to our rural community. Richardson Township community has some very positive businesses. Barntiques helps add to this positive community. The products sold are top-notch quality items made locally. I'm extremely pleased that they opened up a business in our area where I can shop local and not have to drive an hour to get quality items as found at this business. The environment at Barntiques is clean, welcoming, and filled with a positive, calm atmosphere. I strongly support the continuation of the business. And then here are your interim use criteria questions, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Does the applicants have anything to add to that staff report?
We would like to say that we sell refurbished, handcrafted furniture in the store, a variety of home decor, crafts, candles, jewelry, new clothing. We were established in May of 2014. We are open 2 days per month, so not the whole weekend. It's Friday and Saturday from 10 to 5, May to November. We average around 200 customers during our open weekend, for that whole weekend that we're open. Busiest hours are usually 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and we average around 15 to 20 vehicles on the property during that time frame. And as the day progresses, it can be anywhere from 0 to 10. It just depends on the day. That's pretty much all I have right now.
Okay. So at this time, I'll open it to the planning commission for any questions. Dave, you look like you're ready, so we'll go to Dave Stish.
Is Dave ready? No, not many questions. I think the applicant did a very good job of filling out the, the criteria questions and answering them. How many people did you say on a weekend then you're open?
Roughly 200. It could be 100, 150. It just depends. Mm-hmm. And that's through the whole weekend, both, total, not at one time.
Heard anything from township or county on?
Nothing.
Okay. All right.
No.
Well, that's about all I've got for questions right now.
Okay.
Okay. Dave Brucher?
No, I don't have any questions at this time. Again, I think the application was very complete and kind of explains everything. Thank you.
Okay.
I was
Brent,
going to ask too.
Go ahead.
The barn, I assume that's a repurposed farm barn?
Yes, yep. And it's just all on
Was
the
it a
main
dairy
level.
barn? Was it a,
Dairy
two-story barn? Or?
Dairy farm at one
Okay.
time, yeah.
I was just kind of
Long
trying to
be-
visualize it.
Long before we got there, but
Yeah, it was sitting vacant for a number of years, and then that's when we decided to utilize it, so,
Keep it usable.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Brent?
I don't have any questions. I'm familiar with the operation and the family and the location of this, so I'm good.
Okay. Marvin?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Out in that neck of the woods, I'm kind of familiar, I've driven it a few times. And how far away are you from like Porcupines and the gas station? And, you know, you have that crossroad there and there's a fair amount of businesses there. How far away is your business from that about?
about a quarter mile.
Yeah.
So it's right next to another
Yeah.
established
Yes.
neighborhood that's
Yep,
quite busy at
Yeah.
times. Okay, that answers my question. I
Okay.
thought it was relatively closer, so thank you.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, one, just, I don't know. So you've been operating for 9 years, you just didn't know that you had to have a
No.
permit for this, no?
No,
Okay.
honestly, no, we didn't.
Okay. Then one thing we have to do, if this would get approved, is we need an end date for the permit.
Okay.
So is there something that you would have in mind, or do you want us to suggest something, or what's your suggestion?
It would be, we would continue until the property was sold
Okay,
to a different person.
okay. So until it's not in your name or their names.
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be sufficient, I think, so. Commissioners, do you have any questions at this time? Oh, no, look. Oh, sorry. Okay, now we'll open it up to public comment. So if there's anybody from the public here that would like to talk for this or against it, go do at this time. We'd go up to the podium. You'd have to speak in the microphone and state your name for the record, please. I gotta ask this 3 times, so if there's any public comment, we'll open that up now. Any public comment? Any public comment? If there being none other than the one that we had written, we're gonna close this portion of the meeting to the public. Okay. I guess you guys ready to go through the questions? Interim, okay. We'll start with you first, Brent. The use will not put excessive burden on roadways, utilities, and public facilities such as parks and schools.
This is State Highway 27 in that area. It's a tar road. Obviously, we know what state highways are and what they're built for. This is not located near any parks or any schools, and I think the applicants answered that in their questions as well, so.
Anybody else have anything to add? Go ahead, Marv.
I agree with Brent had to say, and also I wanted to add, only opening 2 days a month, so it doesn't see a relatively a large amount of traffic there. And it fits well in the community.
Okay, we'll move on to question 2. We'll start with Dave Stish. The request will not be detrimental to the use and enjoyment of other property in immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted, nor impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding vacant property for uses predominant in area.
Sure seems to me like this is a perfect fit for that area. I mean, there's commercial, there's residential, there's ag in the area. It's, kind of a highway and byway for, visitors to the county and tourists. Seems like a perfect fit and no conflict with, with any of these businesses, obviously, no feedback. How many notices were sent out, Amy? 39. So nobody's having trouble with the use of their own property because of this business. I guess I'd also like to add that, we didn't hear anything back from this township or the state, so must be a good spot to get off and on the highway too. Haven't heard of any accidents over 14 years in business, so, yeah, that's all I've got.
Anybody else have anything to add to question 2? Okay, if not, we'll move on to question 3. This will be for you, Marvin. The use, in the opinion of the planning commission, is reasonably related to the existing land use and environment. Groundwater, surface water, and air quality in the surrounding area will not be adversely affected by the proposed use.
I believe it fits in there well, and it sounded like there's a stream, but it's nowhere near to affect it on a piece of property. And here, another thing to point out, as Dave said, 39 notices, no complaints, neighbor that supports it, and also a quarter-mile away, there are numerous businesses right around there, and we heard nothing from the township, heard nothing from the state highway, so it sounds like it fits in there quite well.
Anybody else have anything to add to question 3? If not, we'll move on to question 4. If you be for Dave Brucher, the use is consistent with the purposes of the zoning ordinance and the purposes of the zoning district in which the applicant intends to locate the proposed use.
Without having read the zoning ordinance and having the details in front of me, I'd have to say that yes, it is consistent with the purposes there. Again, knowing that neighborhood, I've been a resident of Morrison County for a long time, made a lot of trips up and down there. No, I'd say that it fits, it's within the purposes of the zoning district in applicant intents where they're located. Yes.
Anything else to add to 4? All I'd add is that it is a use that can be in the ag zoning, so with the interim use permit, it would, if that would be allowed or approved, it would definitely fit in there for that. Okay, question 5. The use is not in conflict with the comprehensive plan or the water plan for the county. There isn't a lot of problems of water or runoff. It's just, like I said, limited days for the year as far as people coming in and out. They have a contract. I don't know, did you show that, Amy, in our staff report? The what? The one with the porta potty, the contract that you emailed to us?
I don't have it on.
Okay, that's fine. But they have a contract with somebody that's taking care of their porta potty and keeping up on that. So we have that. So there is no construction's already been done for years and years and years. So it ain't like we're worrying about new construction and having to worry about runoff from erosion and building as they're building. So definitely, I think it's not in conflict with the comprehensive or the water plan of the county. Would anybody else have anything to add to that? Go ahead, Mr. Stish.
I'd just like to add that at the end of the staff report, there's always a list of applicable comprehensive land use goals and objectives, and as you read through, it's not in conflict with any of these. I go to goal A2 under ag, achieve an appropriate balance between continued and growing desire of people and certain business to locate, and certainly fits there. There's, allow a variety of businesses and, human resources within this district where it doesn't, where no conflict occurs, and no conflict occurring here. Preserves the rural setting of the area by using a barn that's being repurposed, kind of like a step onto a farm, I assume, for a lot of your customers. So, yeah, it fits very well with the comprehensive plan and goals.
Okay. I don't think any came up, but anybody have any conditions before we vote?
I think that the end date works. As long as they own the property, I think that's acceptable.
Okay, everybody else fine with that? Okay. Okay, we'll move on to vote then. Better make sure I got my glasses for this one. Okay, the use will not put an excessive burden on roadways, utilities, and public facilities such as parks and schools. Brent?
Yes.
Dave Stish?
Yes.
Marvin Treadle?
Yes.
Dave Brucher?
Yes.
Clint Catherine, myself is yes. Question 2, the request will not be detrimental to the use and enjoyment of other property in immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted, nor impede the normal and orderly development improvement for surrounding vacant property for uses predominant area. Dave Stish.
Yes.
Marvin Treadle.
Yes.
Dave Brucher.
Yes.
Clint Catherine, myself is yes. Brent Lindgren.
Yes.
Okay, question 3, the use, in the opinion of the planning commission, is reasonably related to the existing land use and the environment. Groundwater, surface water, and air quality in the surrounding area will not be adversely affected by the proposed use. Marvin Treadle.
Yes.
Dave Brucher.
Yes.
Clint Catherine, myself is yes. Brent Lindgren.
Yes.
Dave Stish.
Yes.
Okay, question 4. The use is consistent with the purposes of the zoning ordinance and the purposes of the zoning district in which the applicant intends to locate the proposed use. Dave Brucher.
Yes.
Clint Catherine, myself is yes. Brent Lindgren.
Yes.
Dave Brucher, or Dave Stish, sorry.
Yes.
Marvin Treadle.
Yes.
Question 5. The use is not in conflict with the comprehensive plan or the water plan of the county. Clint Catherine, myself is yes. Brent Lindgren.
Yes.
Dave Stish.
Yes.
Marvin Treadle.
Yes.
Dave Brucher.
Yes.
Okay. All the questions are answered in affirmative. Somebody have a motion?
I'd make a motion. With the condition, with no condition, but with that end date as the condition?
I will second that.
Okay, there's a motion made and second to recommend to the commissioners for approval with the condition of the end date being when the property is no longer in their name. All in favor say aye. Myself is aye. Brent?
Aye.
Dave Stish?
Aye.
Marvin Treadle?
Aye.
Dave Brucher?
Aye.
Okay, approved. Okay, Amy, you want to tell them when the meeting and all that information?
Yeah, so this recommendation will go to the county board at the regular county board meeting on July 12th. That is a morning meeting, same room. You don't have to be there, but you certainly can. Otherwise, if you're not, you can certainly call the Land Services office late morning to find out the outcome. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we got you guys get a chance to look over the minutes. We're gonna approve the May 31st, 2022 minutes.
I move that we accept the minutes as presented.
Was there a second?
I would second that.
Okay. Motion made and second to approve the minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes approved. Any new business? I have none. Amy, you have any?
Mr. Chair, I do not.
Old business, I have none. Staff have any?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay, with any, somebody make a motion adjourn?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and second to adjourn the planning commission. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned.